Tonight, new details and new questions. Police investigate 10 different crime scenes after that mass shooting in Santa Barbara. But what about the visit they paid to see Elliot Rodger's apartment?
This is the CBS Evening News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Glor with a Western edition of the broadcast, and police were painfully close to catching him. They didn't know it. He did. This came a month ago after deputies visited the apartment of Elliot Rodger. Rodger wrote in a manifesto, quote, "That would have ended everything. For a few horrible seconds, I thought it was all over." Rodger had guns in his apartment, but police bought his story and left. More on that in a moment. But first, investigators this afternoon served a search warrant at the homes of Rodger's parents. They have an enormous amount of evidence so far, including that manifesto and 12 crime scenes. 7 people died Friday night. More than a dozen were hurt. We begin with Danielle Nottingham in Santa Barbara.
Elliot Rodger's rampage through a small town packed with college kids started in his apartment, where Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown said he stabbed 3 people to death.
In his manifesto, he actually did make mention of stabbing them while they were sleeping.
According to the sheriff, Rodger sent his 141-page manifesto to some of his college professors, one of whom alerted police. Authorities say it came too late to stop what he vowed would happen next, an attack on a sorority house. "I will sneak into their house at around 9 p.m. on the day of retribution and slaughter every single one of them with my guns and knives." He made the same threats in a chilling YouTube video, posted police believe minutes before carrying out his plan.
"I'll take to the streets of Isla Vista and slay every single person I see there."
Rodger pounded on the door of the sorority, and when no one answered at 9:27 p.m., he shot and killed 2 students standing across the street, Katie Cooper and Veronica Weiss. Then, according to his manifesto, "I will then make my way to Del Playa, splattering as many of my enemies as I can, shooting anyone I don't splatter." And that's exactly what happened. On his way there, he stopped and went into the Isla Vista Deli, a place he had regularly frequented. The surveillance video shows customers hitting the floor for cover. When the gunfire ended, 20-year-old Christopher Martinez lay dead. His father, Richard, lost his only son.
Chris was a really great kid. Ask anyone who knew him. His death has left our family lost and broken.
Rodger sped off and began firing on a crowded street filled with students, including Mitch Brew.
There was a guy next to me who was just in shock. He was shaking and crying and, trying to comfort him, and everyone's calling their parents and texting their friends, "Stay inside."
Before his final gun battle with police, he kept driving and firing and struck 2 bicyclists. The sheriff says he then took his own life. Police found 3 semi-automatic weapons in his car and 400 rounds of unused ammunition. And Jeff, it only took about 10 minutes from the time Rodger fired shots outside the sorority house until he crashed his car at the end of the police chase.
Danielle, thank you very much. Rodger's family says he was under the care of several mental health professionals, and his parents, concerned, even reached out to police last month. That led to that visit, but that wasn't all. Amy Johnson of KCBS has more.
Sheriff Bill Brown of the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department says his officers interacted with Elliot Rodger on 3 separate occasions before Friday's shooting. In July of last year, Rodger came into contact with authorities at a local hospital where he claimed to have been the victim of an attack. Officers suspected he might have been the aggressor, and the case was suspended. Then in January, Rodger contacted authorities claiming that his roommate had stolen 3 candles valued at $22. Finally, in April, less than a month before the shooting, sheriff deputies interviewed Elliot Rodger outside his apartment at the request of a family member who was concerned after he posted rambling videos online.
"You've never accepted me, and now you'll all pay for it."
They found him to be, at that time, rather quiet and timid. He was polite and courteous. He was able to convince the deputies that this was all a misunderstanding.
Rodger says in his manifesto that there were about 7 police officers and goes on to vividly describe the visit. I had the striking and devastating fear that someone had somehow discovered what I was planning to do and reported me for it. If that was the case, the police would have searched my room, found all of my guns and weapons, along with my writings about what I planned to do. But Rodger says the deputies just asked him if he was suicidal and that they never entered or searched the apartment. Rodger told them it was all a misunderstanding, he says, and they left. Alan Schiffman, attorney for the Rodger family, says the system failed.
This country, this world needs to address mental illness and the ramifications from not recognizing these illnesses.
Amy Johnson, CBS News, Los Angeles.
President Obama